TTC, Niner Empire, what's up? Y'all know this is. A little victory lap video, and probably talk a little bit about what I want to see in the off season. We won week 17, finished the season on a 5-0 run. Hottest team in the league to finish the season, the only undefeated team in the month of December. You know, I kind of knew we were going to win this game. You know, Rams rested pretty much everybody. You know, so Jimmy G threw 2 interceptions. He also threw 2 touchdowns, almost went for 300. I think he threw for 292. You know, yeah, it was a perfect performance, but at the same time, you know, we were still able to get 4 offensive touchdowns this game. So, you know, even with him playing not that good, and I understand the level of competition was lowered a little bit, but, you know, it's encouraging that we could still get a win. If this was last year, to be honest, and we turned the ball over 3 times like we did, because Carlos Hyde had a fucking fumble, we wouldn't have won that game even with their backups in. So, you know, it's just a little encouraging that we could actually win games we're supposed to win this year. Well, I'm not going to say this whole year, because there was some games that we should have won that we didn't. But just to see what Shanahan and a quarterback who can actually play the quarterback position does for this team is really encouraging, especially going into next year. And you know, not having to focus on getting a quarterback or Kirk Cousins coming over or anything like that. It's really encouraging. You know, understand why the Rams rested their starters. Makes all the sense going into the playoffs. You know, they got a fairly young team over there, and you know, didn't want no injuries to any of their key players, which makes sense, you know. And to be honest, they had already had 3 or 4 seed locked up. It really didn't matter. It's not like they were playing for their playoff lives or to lock down the #1 seed or anything like that. So resting their starters made absolute sense in that case. But yeah, you know, we got the win. It's good that we had this momentum at the end of the year. Hopefully we can carry it into next year and, you know, go from there. So what I'd like to see in the off season, our focus, our top focus, in my opinion, needs to be get another DB opposite of Witherspoon, because Dante Johnson just don't fucking cut it. That motherfucker needs to be let go. We need to just let his stupid ass walk, because that motherfucker's ass cheeks. Plain and simple. It's like once teams saw that he was a liability, even on this win streak, once they saw he was a liability, that's all they targeted. Even in Jacksonville game, Blake Bortles picked on him, and then when Blake Bortles went over to Ahkello Witherspoon's side, he got picked off. I think Ahkello had a couple pass breakups. He didn't have success against Witherspoon. So it's go at Dante Johnson. And that was it, because even K'Wan Williams, sorry guys, was playing really good football and wasn't giving up much. So Dante Johnson, it was really bad. I mean, this guy was that big of a liability. You saw what Houston and DeAndre Hopkins did to him. You know, fucking Tennessee picked on him. Chicago picked on him. It was fucking embarrassing watching this dude out there. I don't know why he kept staying out there and why he even had a fucking starting job. So he needs to go. Honestly, I think our #1 target should be Tremaine Johnson. Unless the Rams could work something out with him, I'm not sure. I know they still got to probably get a deal done for Donald. I know he wanted money last year. He's going to want it again this year. I believe he's got a year left on his deal, but, you know, with a player like Donald, 1 year left on the deal. Them are the type of players you want to lock up early. You know, dominant game changers. You want to lock those guys up early and give them those extensions that they deserve. But you don't know how it's going to go down. And I don't think the Rams want to tag Johnson again, because then with the franchise tag, he'd be making like quarterback money, $20, $21 million a year, because they've already tagged him more than once. You know, you can't go by what it's going to be this year for a positional player unless this is the first time you're tagging him. You can't look at, oh, okay, a DB's only going to make $14 million this year under the franchise tag or something like that. You could go by that if it's your very first time tagging that player. If it's your second, third time, it goes up each year by a certain percentage. Not exactly sure how much percent every year. So hopefully we have a shot at Trumaine Johnson. It would be a really good addition to put on the other side of Vakilo. I guess they said he had a little bit of a slump year, but the biggest thing to me, and even this year, he didn't give up touchdowns. Trumaine Johnson really steps up in red zone type areas, and he doesn't give up touchdowns. That's the type of shit we need. So, you know, and I think since his time in the league, from when he came in the league to now, I believe he's got the most interceptions in the NFL in that span of time. You know, so a nice corner like that, he's got good size, good speed. We know he's got good ball skills that could play. I think that is the #1 target we should be targeting at defensive back in free agency this year. Offensive line, we need a guard and a center. We could either address that in the draft, or we could do it in free agency. Who knows? One of these offensive linemen coming out, if there's a lot of interest and we're interested, and we're really interested, we may end up having to overpay a little bit. I mean, we have the money to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't like when a team overpays for players that you know they could have gotten a little cheaper. But sometimes it has to happen. I'm not sure if there's good enough guards or centers in the free agency this year. That's what I'm saying. We may have to address this in the draft. But I do feel that the offensive line and defensive back are our two major. And then you could add pass rusher to that. What's going to happen with DeMarcus Lawrence in Dallas? Who knows? They'd be fools to let him walk. I really think they're going to end up finding a way to get something done with Lawrence. I would like to see him hit free agency. I would love DeMarcus Lawrence. The man's an animal. I'm not going to lie. But reality is telling me the Cowboys will probably get something done there. So we'll just have to see on that one. You know, it's going to be I think this is going to be a really fun offseason if you're a 49er fan. I know right now Jimmy G is #1 on the to-do list. Get that man locked up. Fuck franchising him. Don't wait till March. Don't play bullshit games. Lock him the fuck up. Plain and simple. I think Parag Marathe might have to do something he doesn't normally do with the contract for Jimmy G. You know, normally we try getting these guys locked up and get a lot of them on incentive-laden deals like we did Kaepernick. His guarantee was only $16 million. It said $60 million when it was when the contract came out or something like that. 50 or 60 million, 126 overall, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. Kaepernick got 16 million because of all the incentives and shit like that guaranteed. You know, it's contracts like that that have saved us a lot of money in the past, and has also, you know, made us have really team-friendly deals. Now with Jimmy G, I don't think we need to do that. We have the money. We have the fucking money. We don't need to do that shit with Jimmy G. I understand that, you know, there's people on the outside looking in that are going to look at it, maybe even on the inside, that are going to look at it and say this man's only played 7 games in his career. I understand that. But in the small sample size that he has played, and he came in and just lifted this entire team in the 5 games that he started, and has shown he could produce at the NFL level and that he is a franchise-type quarterback. And not only that, he has showed in that short amount of time he can come in and run Kyle Shanahan's complex system that takes a lot of quarterbacks a year or more to learn. Now, I'm not saying he's learned the entire fucking playbook, but he has picked it up and grasped enough of it that every week we were seeing new plays and new schemes run on offense. The guy's football IQ is really high. He is a very bright guy. And for him to come in and come from one complicated system as far as offense like New England and pick up a totally different system with new language and verbiage and shit like that, and Kyle Shanahan, and everybody knows Shanahan's got a complicated system, that speaks volumes, and I think we should pay him. I really think we should pay him. Don't bullshit with this. Do not drag this shit out. This shit needs to get done, and get done quick, in my opinion. You know, we do have all offseason, like I said. We can't hit a deal by March 6th. We slap a franchise tag on him. He's not going nowhere. Jimmy Garoppolo will be the 49ers starting quarterback in 2018 and beyond. Jimmy Garoppolo is not going anywhere. John Lynch has made it perfectly clear today that John Lynch is the number one, or that Jimmy Garoppolo, is the number one priority this offseason. The Niners want to keep him as their quarterback for a very long time. And him and Jimmy have already sat down and talked, and, you know, to get an idea where each one of them's at. And they are working very hard and diligently to get a contract done. So hopefully here in the next couple weeks we get the news. Jimmy has signed a long-term 5-year, 6-year deal, whatever, however long we give him, but he has signed a long-term deal. So, it's just a relief as a 49er fan knowing we do not have to go into another fucking season wondering who the fuck our quarterback's going to be, wondering who our coach is going to be. You know, just shit like that. This is going to be a stress-free offseason, I believe, and it's going to be pretty fun. You know, we laid all the groundwork last year and got pieces in that could contribute and help us out and make this coming up off season and this coming up draft easier and more stress-free. So this is going to be really fun, guys. Just buckle up and get ready for the ride. Sorry this video's gone so long, but you know, I just figured I'd put a little bit out there on the direction I want to see us head and things I want to see us get done, at least initially. I will have probably a couple more off-season videos, you know, talk about players I'd like to see us draft. Not necessarily in the first round, just players in general I'd like to see us draft that I think can contribute on this team. And with the talent evaluation staff we have on this team, I have total faith in this draft and this free agency going forward, just because we had, what was it, 12 free agents, I think, this year? 12 or 13 rookies. Not free agents, my bad. But 12 or 13 rookies, whether they were drafted, undrafted, what the deal was, step up, contribute, play significant time, and really show the talent evaluators in the front office and stuff like that really know what they're doing and know how to build a team. I mean, look at Adrian Colbert, for instance. 7th round draft pick. He was our very last draft pick in the draft. This guy was not considered to contribute at all this year because of the depth we had at the position. You know, Jaquiski Tartt, Jimmy Ward, guys like that. But then in consecutive weeks, back-to-back, Ward broke his forearm, and then Jaquiski Tartt broke his arm. And Adrian Colbert came in, started at free safety, and hasn't looked back. And he has played marvelous. Marvelous. Hard-hitting free safety. You know, he doesn't get beat too much. He's really alert out there, has the speed to close ground really quickly and cover a lot of ground playing center field. I love what Adrian Colbert has stepped up and done, and I think he, honestly, even though we are keeping Ward because we picked up his 50-year option early in the season this year, might have been before the season started, but I really do believe Adrian Colbert has earned the right to start in 2018 as our free safety. The strong safety position, don't know what's going on there. If we can't get Eric Reed back for some reason, I think not Jimmy Ward. I'd have smacked myself for that one. Jimmy Ward's too small and fragile to play a strong safety position. Jaquiski Tartt, I believe, will be our starting strong safety. And things like that. You know, we get some pieces back on both sides of the football that were injured all year. You know, one guy we didn't get to see play, Malcolm Smith, that we gave $25 million to, so we gave him starter money. We're going to have to see what happens there. I don't know much about the guy. I just know he was MVP of a Super Bowl and shit like that. That's about it. Haven't seen him play, really, honestly. So didn't get to see him play this year. But, you know, it's little things like that that are going to help us also as far as going forward with free agency in the draft. So, sorry to make this so long on my way to work. Like I said, just wanted to get a few things out there. I will see y'all, not sure when. I may make a video or two. You know, I already said I'll make probably a couple in the offseason. I'm just not sure when. Any big breaking news comes out, I probably will cam up, though. Not sure. I know I'll cam up. We signed Jimmy Garoppolo and shit like that and talk about all that. But I believe this is the longest video I've ever done. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to make it so long. But, yeah, you know, enjoy 2018, everybody. You know, it's a new year. You know, everybody. Enjoy it. Have fun. Hope this year's better for you than last year was. And hope y'all do big things. That's to everybody out there. Everybody. I don't care if I hate your team. You know, shit like that, whatever it is. Just, honestly, I hope everybody has a good 2018, does big things for themselves and their families, and, you know, see y'all when I see you. So, that's all I got. I'm out.